It's time now for Johnston High School football on the Central Iowa Sports Network. CISN.TV is Iowa's premier source for live-streamed high school football. High school football on CISN.TV is brought to you by Atlantic Bottlers, Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Shields, the Better Business Bureau, G&L Clothing. Now let's go to our CISN.TV team for Johnston High School football.
At Schottenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee means 0% for 72 months on all 17 Silverados and Colorados. For a limited time, 20% off 17 Cruze, Trax, and Malibu. New 18 Equinox, Power Pro Shoe 24 per month. 0% for 72 months on a huge selection of 17 Silverado and Colorados. It's Truck Month in Waukee. Schottenkirk Chevrolet on the west end of Hickman, Waukee.
So live of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here we don't just dream, we make history. This is
Good evening and welcome to Johnston High School here on CISN.TV. It's high school playoff football tonight, audio only, as we bring you the Dowling Maroons at Johnston. Dar Danielson alongside Joe Danielson here are warm in the booth. It's a little chilly out there tonight, though, Joe, and wind not as bad as it was last Friday night, but probably not too bad for the players out there on the field in the 40s and a light breeze out there. The fans are the ones that are going to feel that more probably tonight.
Yep, and it's November, so we're kind of used to that here, and it's probably not as cold as last week, as you said, but it's going to affect the throwing for both quarterbacks tonight.
Well, these two teams, Dowling comes in, 17 straight playoff wins. 16 of those came on runs to a state title, and Johnston tonight looking for their first ever trip to the semifinals in the Unidome, as they've been in the playoffs 10 straight years but have yet to break through there. So we're seeing the upstarts here, Johnston, trying to knock off the number one team that's been the number one team the last 4 years. So a big task ahead, but it seems like these teams are pretty well matched when you look at them.
Yep, and it's really been like a storybook season for Johnston here at 9-1, playing for their chance. Their first semifinal win. They've really played well defensively all year, only given up 15 points on the defensive end, and Dowling also only given up 15 points. But when you look at their scoring average is up at 50. That's kind of based off of some lopsided games. You kind of look at Johnston, they play nice and slow. And whereas Dowling really has only had one competitive game and another half that has been competitive so far. And
for Johnston, Andrew Nord, probably the quarterback, is the one. He kind of keys everything offensively, doesn't he?
Yep, Nord keeps Johnston's offense going. He doesn't really turn the ball over that much either. 12 touchdowns to 4 picks, and that's going to be key when you play a good team here like Dowling tonight.
And then for Dowling, let's see, Dowling wins the toss and is going to defer. For Dowling, they have a quarterback and a running back who both have scored 23 touchdowns on the season.
Yep, Blake Clark and Jason Murray really are the guys you see on the stat sheet, but the guys that you don't really talk about are the big front five of the O-line, Alex Critton and Jesse Alger over there on the right. Because those are the guys that Jason Murray runs behind so far, and at 170 rush attempts on the year, they're used to him coming right behind them.
And when you talk about that, Johnston might be one of the few teams that has the big, beefy defensive linemen that can match up pretty well, aren't they?
Yep, and Johnston also plays a slower game, both offensively and defensively, and Johnston, the games that we've done, they really like to play a sloppier game. They make turnovers, and they thrive when the game slows down.
Well, it'll be Dowling kicking off here to Johnston to get the game started here. And Riley Schmidt will kick off. Murray And Studer back deep to receive for Johnston. Johnston wearing their gold uniform tops tonight. Dowling in the white tops, maroon pants. Here's the kickoff. It bounces, taken about the 5-yard line. Up to the 15, 20. And Murray takes it to the 21, where Johnston will start. 1st and 10 at the 21. On the about a 16-yard kickoff return for Johnston.
Yep, and that'll bring out Andrew Nord. On the year, he's completing 53% of his passes for 971 yards and about 13 yards per completion.
Andrew Nord, Brock Studer in the backfield with him. Jackson Steigers, Blake Murray, a couple of receivers. They come out now with 2 receivers left, 1 right. For Nord, they send a man in motion across the formation. Nord will keep it, though. Looking for running room over the right side and wins his way up across to the 20, about the 26-yard line. That's what they want to see, Joe. Good pickup on 1st down.
Yep, the holes opened up there through the Dowling defense, through their linebackers. And Nord is a tricky runner with 168 rushing attempts on the year. That's actually more than his passing attempts.
Here they go quick, out down the right side. Passes picked off. It's thrown long and picked off about the 40-yard line. Miller picks it off. It was intended for Murray. So that's exactly what we talked about. You don't want to have a turnover, Joe, but on the second play, it's an interception.
Yep, a little bit of a jinx there, but Marcus Miller came up with the interception when the Johnston wide receiver he tripped, he kind of fell there and wasn't able to make a defensive play. Once, when you're on offense as a receiver, you have to turn around and make a quick defensive play.
1st and 10 at the 40 here for Dowling now. And Murray, the ball carrier, he gets knocked down behind a line of scrimmage. Has good penetration by the defensive line by Johnston. So it's lose 5 on the play, 2nd down, or we'll call it 4, 2nd and 14 at the 36. Blake Clark, the quarterback, Jason Murray, the tailback. He's got a slot up to his left. Now they're going to switch around a little bit. Send the tight end to the left side, a receiver to each side. Down the line, rolls around, under pressure, rolls out of it, and then is hit behind the line of scrimmage and is going to lose another yard there as Clark rolled around and nobody to hand the ball to, but he got pressure in there early, Joe.
Yep, and Johnston, we talked a little bit about their strong linebacking core of Nathan Newcomb and Sam Nielsen getting in there.
So they're going to mark him right back at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 14 at the 36 for Dowling. Shotgun. Hands it off to the tailback. He rushes up and gets pounded right at the original line of scrimmage. So he'll pick up about 4, but not enough for the 1st down. And Murray picks up 4, but that only gets it back to the original line of scrimmage. So just one positive play, it'll be a 3 and out for Dowling.
Yep, and Trey Officer met Murray right at the line of scrimmage and delivered a big hit. And if you're Johnston, that's really the message you want to send on this first opening drive.
Jake Meyer back deep to receive the punt. Low snap, handled, and it's going to bounce, and Meyer will take it at the 16, cuts it up to the 25, and is ripped out of bounds at the 27-yard line, where Johnston will take over on their 2nd possession after turning it over on the first one after just 2 plays. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 27.
Yep, and speaking a little too soon off that Nord interception on the last play, Nord actually has more rushing attempts and more rushing yards than he does passing attempts and passing yards. So that says a little bit about Johnston's ground game.
Yep, and his ability, too, to handle the ball. He sends trips to the right this time. Single receiver in the slot on the left. Here comes a man in motion across, handed off. Inside, he cuts it up and gets knocked down there. Studer with the carry, and he'll pick up 5 yards on the carry. So good 1st down yardage again. They did that last time on their possession and then turned it over. So here's Nord again. Single back with him, 2 receivers right. Hands it off to no, he keeps it. Nord over the right side, breaks free, up across the 40, 45, 50, and out of bounds on the far side around the 40-yard line. And that's what he can do, Joe. That's why he's so dangerous.
Yep, very elusive play with the quarterback option, and he kept it and hit it like magic.
23-yard pickup. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. They're going to mark him out for Johnston.
And Jack Keogh eventually came in there for Dowling and pushed Nord out of bounds on that play.
So here's Nord, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Receiver on the right comes in motion, fakes a handoff, now gives it to Studer, and he's tripped up in the backfield, and just not a very good action there as the slot coming in motion kind of almost ran into Studer and everybody. There were 3 guys standing right there, and you don't want that in the backfield.
A little confusion in the back, and that allowed Keogh again to break through there and get the stop on Studer.
So it makes it 2nd and 12 at the 48 for Johnston. After picking up 1 first down here, now they're 2nd and long. They send man in motion this time, and they'll hand it off to Studer. He tries to turn the corner and gets tripped up there before he can get around the corner. No gain. And
Studer is more of your power back, kind of with Andrew Nord. Nord playing quarterback, he brings a little bit more speed than Studer.
Drake Ruperek with the tackle there, so no gain. 3rd and 12, a big 3rd down now here for Johnston at the Dowling 48. Studer comes up beside Nord. He fakes it to Studer, keeps it himself, runs up the middle, and is met there after picking up about 2 yards. So that'll bring up 4th and about 10. They're just going to give him 1, so 4th and 11. So it looks like they will have to punt here. Johnston will, their first punt of the ball game. And Marcus Miller back to receive the punt. Here's a rugby-style kick going to the right side and very effective. It bounces at the 20, takes a good Johnston bounce all the way down to about the 10-yard line. They're going to mark it out at the 11. So, again, the rugby-style kick by Steigers is very effective, Joe.
Yep, and he got a nice Johnston Dragon bounce.
So Dowling will take over on their 2nd drive after going 3 and out on the first one. They'll be deeper, a longer way to go this time. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 11 as Blake Clark brings them out. Man comes in motion across the formation. He looks to pass and now cuts it up inside and is tackled after a short pickup as that fake motion like he was going to throw it and then ran up the middle, and he'll pick up, well, let's see, up to the 15. We'll give him 4 yards.
Yep, a little bit of confusion so far on the 2 of those first option plays for Dowling.
Dowling sends 2 receivers to the right. They have a slot on the right. Hands it off to the tailback. He looks for room, cuts it outside, finds a big hole, now up across for the first down and all the way up to about the 27-yard line, depending on where they mark Murray. I think it's going to be the 27. So the first down here for Dowling. Pick up a 14.
Yep, and Murray is so fast that Johnston really, you want to have more linebackers in the box, but sometimes he's so fast that you really need quicker guys back there playing safety and corner to track him down.
Pistol formation here for Dowling. Handoff again, and the tailback, he just plows right up in there, Jason Murray. And this time he gets a couple, maybe 3. They're going to give him 3, I think, on the run. And that'll be 2nd and 7. Ball up to the 28.
Murray really is the workhorse here for Dowling, as no other backs. He has over 100 more carries than anyone else on the roster.
Now they send the slot across the formation. Quarterback keeps it himself, stumbles ahead to the 35 and is met there and dropped down. Blake Clark keeps it. So it'll be 3rd and about 4 for Dowling here. At the 35, their own 35. And I got to imagine they're going to keep it on the ground. They haven't thrown a pass yet. So Murray back there with Clark in the pistol. Shotgun fakes it, now runs ahead and is pulled down right at the line of scrimmage. He won't get the first down in there. They said the ball was out. The ball was out. It's Johnston's ball. There was a fumble on the play. They were jumping up and down. At first, Joe, I couldn't tell it's because they stopped him on the 3rd down, but the ball did come out and Johnston recovered.
Yep, I'm guessing that Clark's knee never touched the ground, and one of those Johnston linebackers was able to strip the ball, and that sets Johnston up really on their 30-yard line in good territory.
So the second turnover, this time to Dowling's turnover, the fumble, and yeah, they were all jumping up and down. You're thinking, okay, they were happy they stopped him on 3rd down, but then the ball was on the ground in the middle of the pile there, and Johnston was on top of it. So Nord brings him out. Brock Studer with him, a receiver to each side, and hands it off to Studer. He stumbles to the right side and gets met at the line immediately. There's a flag comes in.
Looks like
it was a fumble.
Yep, it might be another fumble here again.
Well, that was the beanbag, not a flag the referee threw in there, and Dowling says they have it. They're jumping up and down. I haven't seen the official point yet. They're still looking at it. Now he turns and points. It's Dowling's ball. So back-to-back fumbles, and Dowling takes over.
Well, that's something. That's basically the same play ran back-to-back by each team.
Wasn't it? Yeah, handoff there, and it got...
Yep, a handoff up the middle for a fumble, so... Some early drama here in the first quarter.
And the advantage is probably 3 or 4 yards to Dowling from ahead of where they were when they fumbled it. So now it's like hitting the replay button, and we start all over here. Dowling sends trips to the right, and the tailback in the backfield with Clark. He takes the snap, hands off to the tailback. He cuts it up and close to the first down. Big run by Murray as he bursts through the middle. And... pickup of 9.
Just you have kind of looking down here at the training table for Johnston, number 2, Jacob Swanson is getting looked at. He might have been in on that initial fumble.
So 2nd and 1. And there's a handoff to the tailback, Murray, and he's going to get the first down. Jensen Gates has scored a 61-yard touchdown, and Centennial leads Lewis Central 7-0 early going. And another first down for Dowling. 1st and 10 at their 49, so not quite into Johnston territory. Once they get there, it'll be the first time tonight they've been there. They send a receiver 2 to the left, 1 to the right here. And they send the receiver on the right in motion. They hand it off. Nope, fakes it. Fakes that jet screen, and then there's pressure. Rolls out of the pressure. Now he throws it out. And I think the Johnston people up here in the press box wanted holding on that as the Johnston player came through the middle.
Yep, well, we've got a little bit of an inside. You can kind of hear a little bit as to what they're calling for. Holding, and then as Clark kind of ran out to his left, the line of scrimmage gets closer, but eventually, that play was almost a disaster. Dowling was able to move forward, get 3 yards on first down.
Yeah, 3 yards as he threw it out to the short side of the field there. Now here's the handoff to the tailback again. Flag comes in right in the middle of that pile, and that might be the holding call they wanted on the last play. And I was starting to wonder because it looked like, Joe, the blocking scheme for Dowling was starting to open up a few holes in the middle of that Johnston line in there. And Pella and DCG tied at 7-7. And that'll be the call, holding against Dowling. They call that on number 55. They said Alex Curtin, the right guard.
Yep, and I'm looking at Jesse Alger here, number 79. He's limping a little bit. I'm sure it's not going to mean anything in a big playoff game here, but that's really that right guard. He's really their lead blocker on those Jason Murray runs.
Second down and 19 at the 42. As that flag was thrown about the original line of scrimmage. There's pressure. He slips out of it, runs up ahead, and then is hit and spun down back on almost the original line of scrimmage. So credit Blake Clark for spinning out of the pressure back there.
Yeah, very elusive move from Clark. He kind of, I think you could see his teammates yelling for him. There's a guy behind you, because he started downfield a little bit faster there.
And he was looking to pass there, kept looking upfield, but he picked up enough, picked up 8, so it'll be 3rd and 11 right at the 49-yard line of Johnston. So they're into Johnston territory here. And they send trips to the left, one receiver right, but the tailback back there with Blake Clark. Clark drops back, looking to throw. Throws down across the middle and knocked away by the defender there. Almost got through, but intended for the tight end, I believe. And Charlie Johnson in a big play on defense by Trey Officer.
Did Officer get a hand on that, or was that through Johnson's hands?
I don't know if whatever he did, though, I think it messed up the receiver a little bit, because he wasn't able to catch it.
That's where sometimes with this run-heavy offense can come back to hurt you a little bit.
Here's a high punt, and that's going to bounce at the 24 and go out of bounds. That's where Johnston will take over. 1st and 10 with 2:34 to go. The very fast-moving first quarter with a little passing here. And Johnston will take over 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line with 2:34 to play here in the second quarter.
Yep, well, we talk about, the fast-moving game, because you can say Andrew Nord has over double the rush attempts as he has completions on the season. So, and even Blake Clark for Dowling, he has 86 completions, and he has about 70 running attempts. So these teams are very ground-heavy.
So here comes Johnston with those double wings. Studer back there with Nord. One of the wings comes in motion. They hand it off to him. He's going to cut it up. Gets through one tackle, puts his head down, bowls over a Dowling player. That's Studer up to the 36-yard line. And that's going to be a first down, I think. Yep, they're going to give him 10 on that. 1st and 10. Up to the 36-yard line. So Studer doing some hard running there. Now Studer will come into that slot on the left side. And they got Hushagen as the back there. So double slots and a receiver wide. Now hand off to Hushagen. He's trying to find his way into the middle of that line, and not much there but white shirts. And in on the tackle was Mitch Riggs. No gain, 2nd and 10. So some flashes of offense, but no real big plays yet here by either team, Joe.
Yep, strong defense from the Johnston D line, and really strong defense from from Dowling Catholic safeties.
Trips to the right, man comes in motion on the inside. It's handed off to him, and he gets hammered. Murray gets pounded before he could turn the corner and head upfield, and he'll lose a yard. It'll bring up 3rd down and 11 at the 35.
You can kind of say that hit that Mitch Riggs just delivered, and then Jack Bertram took one last play, and that's kind of been the story of this game so far, is big hits from both sides.
Yeah, these defenses are really laying some heat on them, aren't they? Trips to the right, single receiver to the left for Nord. 3rd down and 11. Johnston here, 48 seconds to play. First quarter, no score. Chance to go to the Unidome. Heavy pressure. He throws it out wide, and it's going to go out of bounds, and I think he just kind of throw that away.
Yep, and he wanted to put a little bit more on that one so you can just put it into the out of the field of play, really.
Because these Dowling defenders were closing on that over there, but not quite able to get to it, but he throws it away, and with 40 seconds to play, Marcus Miller will drop back deep for Steiger to punt. Steiger's averaging about 35 yards a punt here. Miller is at his own 30. High snap, rugby style to the left, or to the right, excuse me. It bounces. It's going to get another good roll again as everybody gets away from it, and it's going to roll down to the 32-yard line where Dowling will take over with 30 seconds to play here in the first quarter. And so far, this is the back-and-forth slugfest we thought it might be, Joe.
Yep, and a couple turnovers. Nobody's really crossed the 50. Dowling had one nice drive that crossed the 50, but they were backed up by turnovers on that holding call in the middle.
So far a battle of field position here. This is an audio-only game here because of state regulations, but we're glad you're listening here on CISN.TV. And here comes Blake Clark once again for the Maroons on offense. He hands it off to his tailback, and he gets somebody around his ankles. He slips by that tackler and picks up 2 yards when it looked like they were going to get him, Murray, at the line of scrimmage, but he slipped the one tackle and he ends up getting 2, and a hard-fought 2 on that one. Gets up to the 34. Trips now to the right for Dowling. Clark looks to the sideline, and I think they're going to let the clock run out, and that will end the first quarter. No score here in this quarterfinal. Dowling and Johnston. We'll take a break and come back with the second quarter right after this on CISN.TV.
Take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields. Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa. Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see this,
Here we go to start the second quarter. Dowling with it. There's a handoff, and plowing up ahead is Jason Murray on the 2nd and 8 carry. He gets 3, maybe. We'll still be up a 3rd and 5. Yep.
Third and Towns stopped him there.
3rd and 5 at the Johnston 37, or the Maroons rather, their own 37 here. They send trips to the right. They got a slot back on the right. Poor Blake Clark. Fakes a look to the right side and takes himself up the middle, and he's hammered there in the middle. Is good response by the Johnston defenders as they filled that hole quickly. 94 was one of them in there. Dalton Towns.
And they're only going to give him 3 yards.
It looked like he was starting to get up ahead of Steve, Joe, before they just collapsed on him. Those defenses reacted very well.
And that's where you want to be if you're Johnston defense. You want to get Dowling in that 3rd and long situations and force them to throw the ball. Now that was 3rd and 5, but they still did a good job on the ground.
4th and 2 at the 40. Jake Meyer back at his own 27 to receive the kick. High snap, he handles it, the punter, and gets off a pretty good kick. It bounces at the 30 and rolls out of bounds, but that was almost danger back there for Marcus Miller, the punter for Dowling, but he handled that high snap pretty well. And now Johnston will take over. 1st and 10 at the 32. No score here. 36-yard punt. And So far, Joe, there's been no big plays to flip the field here. Both of them have been playing, around the 30s. There was one, Dowling started back at the 11 and drove it up, but nobody able to sustain a long drive at this point.
Yep, Johnston tried to take a shot early, which is a pretty good move.
Nord, a quick out pass out there. Hits Gavin Sullivan, I believe. So 4 yards on the first down. 2nd and 6 at the 36. So maybe some quick passing, loosen up the defense a little bit as they've been looking for the run.
Yep, and Sullivan has a touchdown on the season. He's kind of done a little bit of both, rushing and receiving out of the backfield.
Yeah, he had the touchdown last week against Southeast Polk. Here's Nord. His man coming across the formation, fakes it to him, rolls to his right, looking for Steigers out there, hits him, and he catches it. Steigers makes the catch at the 46-yard line, first down for Johnston. So Jackson Steigers, that little fake, kind of froze the defense. He rolls to his right and hits Steigers for the first down, 1st and 10 at the 46. Pickup of 10 for Johnston. They're on the move. The Dowling defense jumps but didn't come across the line. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Single back in there behind Nord in that pistol formation. Nord down the line, takes it himself, looks to cut back outside, and he's tripped up. He might have been better to cut that up and keep going straight ahead.
Yep, and I think that Dowling Catholic, the linebackers showing blitz there, kind of got in Nord's head, and he might have thought they jumped off sides, but they were ready for him on that option.
He came down the line and started to sneak it up, then decided to try to cut it outside, and then that's when they stopped it behind a line of scrimmage and loss of 3, 2nd and 13 at Johnson's own 43. Twins now to the right side, a single receiver to the left. Back comes in motion out of the backfield. They look to wing it to him. Now he keeps it himself and just finds a couple of yards. So Dowling not fooled by that at all. They're keeping an eye on Nord. He'll pick up 2 and brings up 3rd and long, 3rd and 11 at the 45 for Johnston. Well, we go to the pass here or try to keep it on the ground with Nord. He'll send 2 receivers to each side. 1 slot receiver comes in motion from left to right over to the right side. He rolls to his right, looking upfield, throws it down deep, has a man behind the defense, caught! First down, Murray. Murray got a couple steps, and he is fast. He got around the corner last week against Southeast Polk. And so Murray catches it down at the 13-yard line. A 41-yard play gives it a 1st and 10 at the 13 for Johnston. And Bertram on the stop.
Yep, Bertram and Marcus Miller picked up Blake Murray originally, but he just ran behind him, and the ball was thrown up high enough for him to make the catch. Nice grab on the sideline.
So they got 2 receivers right now. 1 back. Murray comes in motion across the formation. Nord keeps it himself, but he's grabbed by the leg and pulled down right at the line of scrimmage there. And again, Mitch Riggs in there to make the tackle for no gain. 2nd and 11. No, they're going to, no gain. So 2nd and 10 at the 13.
Yep, Riggs is a name that we'll be calling a lot here tonight.
Receiver wide left, 2 to the right. And a single back in the backfield as Johnson now turns over, looks to the sideline to get the play call. That's Studer, steps up ahead of Nord. Throws it out to the left side, caught, spins around, can he get into the end zone? Fighting! He's going to be stopped at the 1-yard line. Hits the big tight end, Peyton Williams, the 6'5", 225 junior. Nord hits him out there on the left side. And he fights his way, almost fought it into the end zone, but instead it's going to be 1st and 10.
Yep. And that was a big mismatch out there, kind of with the 5'9" Marcus Miller.
1st and 10 at the 1 here for Johnston. That's Studer next to Nord. Nord takes it, fakes it. Nord's going to run, looking to go in the corner. Turns around, dives! Is he in? They're not giving the hands up. They're saying he's short, I think. Yep, he's going to be short. Now they're talking about it. Oh, they say he fumbled the ball. It's a touchback. He must have fumbled it out of bounds. The official came over and waved his arm and said it was a touchback. He must have fumbled it as he went out of bounds. What a big play. Nord coming around the right side, trying to dive into the end zone. The official that was right there on the line stopped it, talked to the referee. The referee came over, waved his arm back and forth, and said it's a touchback. So he must have fumbled it out of the end zone, Joe.
Or just fumbled it into the end zone and
Dowling
went out.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened because there were Dowling players giving the safety signal, giving the safety like they had a safety.
Yeah.
But
if he crosses the plane, then it's a touchdown, but he must have fumbled it.
I think he fumbled it into the end zone, and they recovered it in the end zone is what must have happened.
So 1st and 10 at the 20.
We don't have video, so we can't do a replay.
And
sorry.
Yeah, we're doing audio only, so we can't go back and look at the replay on that. And here comes a late flag now. Holding against Dowling. So that'll be 10 yards. And if that's from the spot of the foul, that's 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Or he's going to, no, he said, okay, take it from the line of scrimmage. So still it'll be a 10-yard penalty. Back to the 10. So, wow, the second.
Fourth turnover?
Fourth turnover here.
And that was
a big one because that took probably 6 points off the board.
Yeah, at least 3 points at the least.
Very least, yeah. So 2nd and 20, or 1st and 22 rather, and man, plowed into the running back as he tried to come ahead, and he picked up 1, but then he's hammered down by the defense.
And Johnston has played it. I mean, this game has been completely even so far, but when you're looking to upset the 4-time state championship, plays like that really hurt.
You're right. Fumbling away at the goal line and giving up 6 points.
Yeah,
you cannot afford to do that.
A fumble on the 1 into your own end zone is not something that is going to be conducive to winning.
But then credit the Dowling defense. That's how you're 4-time state champion when you get those big plays. Fake, now looking to pass. Rolling, under pressure. He gets through the pressure, now flips it ahead. A little shovel pass up ahead, and that is going to go nowhere. And they're going to bowl him back. But Clark almost got tackled for a big loss, but shoveled it, pushed it ahead with both hands to Murray. But Murray was immediately hit, and he lost about a yard.
And Sam and goalie had broken back behind the Johnston defense, but Clark just had no time to throw a ball up to him.
You're right. He couldn't look for him at all. So here's where you don't want to give up a big play at all. Sometimes you're trying to, stop them back there deep and you let them bust through. But the Johnston defense plays this sound at 3rd and 21. They got a chance here to get the ball back in good field position. There's a draw up the middle, and he'll be stopped. Gets up to the 16, Jason Murray. And he's dropped down, and that'll make it 3rd about 14. So credit the defense for Johnston. They held after the turnover into the end zone, and now they should get the ball back in good field position. 4:30 to play as this game is just winding away. Very few passes, and the ones that have been thrown really have been completed, so the clock has just kept rolling here. Jake Meyer back deep to receive the punt. Here's the kick. Line drive. Bounces, and he's going to let it roll. He picks it up and gets knocked out of bounds right at the point. I would have stayed away from that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he almost took a big hit from 5 guys there. But
to save a yard, it was going to go out of bounds anyway. But Johnston will take over 1st and 10 at their own 41 after driving down to the 1, turning it over. And that's so far kind of the defense and turnovers have been the the keys of this game so far, Joe.
Yep, and for Johnston, it's long third downs is what they want to get the Dowling offense in. And for the Dowling offense, they kind of like to hang around before they just overpower you.
Here's Nord, fakes the handoff. Now he's spinning, trying to get out of trouble, and he's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage and drop for a big loss.
And it's plays like that where Dowling will just keep coming at you, and then keep coming.
And that's the really first big negative loss play that Johnston has had on offense tonight so far.
Yep, and both teams have done a pretty good job of just getting this small chunks of yards and nothing big.
So that'll go back to the 34, loss of 7. And bring up second down. And what are they waiting on now here? Second and 17 at the 34 for Johnston. No score, as you can see on the scoreboard here. Audio-only game tonight. The timeout Dowling. Okay, so Dowling's going to take a timeout and talk this over. We'll take a quick break. Be back with more here on CISN.TV.
I opened the hearing clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
Back here at Johnston on CISN.TV, a slugfest between Dowling and Johnston. No score so far. What do we got? 4 turnovers. Well, the biggest one, a costly one at the goal line on the last possession where Johnston quarterback Andrew Nord fumbled it into the end zone and Dowling got it out to the 20. They were unable to get a first down and it punted back to Johnston. Johnston lost 7 yards in the first play there, and now it's 2nd and 17, and Nord brings them out after a Dowling timeout. Fakes the handoff. Nord now takes it over the right side, looking to cut it up. Now goes back outside. Gets a block. 45, 50, and he slides down just short of the first down. But some good blocking out there and good running by Andrew Nord, Joe.
Yep, and Jack Bertram just kind of got in front of him before he slid down.
So that brings up, picked up 13 and brings up a 3rd and 1 at the 50-yard line with 3:24 to play here.
And talking about tackling, you look at the Dowling Catholic defense, you have 7 players over 24 tackles on the year. They just gang tackling.
There's fake to Studer. Nord keeps it up the middle. 40, 35, cuts it back inside down to the 33-yard line.
But there you go, having trouble tracking down Andrew Nord on that play.
Well, and that was a beautiful fake to Studer. Everybody's looking for Studer to run up the middle, and Nord pulls it out of his belly and heads up, and they got a 1st and 10 at the 33. Here's Nord again. Studer behind him in the pistol. 2 receivers left, 1 right. As we go under 3 minutes to play in the first half with no score. Nord down the line. Keeps it, turns it up. He had Studer there, and you have to kind of respect that pitch, too, to Studer. Pella leads 10-7 over Dallas Center Grimes. And
Wagner came in there for the Dowling Catholic defense.
Pickup of 3, 2nd and 7 at the 30. And Nord brings them out. Clock winding down here. And here's Nord. Looks, throws out wide. Oh, that was in danger of being picked off as he was going for big Peyton Williams out there again, but the defender read it that time. Ankeny Centennial scores again. It's 14-0 over Lewis Central in the first quarter. 41 seconds left in the first quarter. So that was close to being a pick 6 the other way, Joe.
Yeah, well, they've got a 5-5 corner out there, and they're trying to use that mismatch for Johnston Dragons, but that time you just can't throw it no matter what.
So double slots for Johnston, fake to Murray. Nord keeps it himself, cuts it inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. And they're at the 29. Hushagen has hit a 47-yarder this season for Johnston. A 4th down and 6. We'll see what they decide to do here. Are they going to kick it or go? They have all 3 timeouts. Clock is winding down. They may wind the clock down a little bit, take a timeout, and then kick the field goal, not leave Dowling much time here, as that appears what they might be doing. As the offense is just out there looking to the sideline at this point as we go down to 137. Play clock down to 1, and they do call a timeout. So we'll see.
So looking at about a 40-yard field goal, or?
Well, let's see. Where are we at? We're at the 29, 730, 46-yard field goal. Hushagen's longest is 47 on the season. So we'll see. And if you go for it and you only get a couple yards, you still have Dowling back pretty deep, Joe, and they haven't shown the ability to go downfield yet, but I don't know if you want to give them that opportunity, do you?
Well, Johnston's defense has been playing really well against those Jason Murray runs, and I don't think Dowling hasn't taken a shot downfield at all. They really have only attempted a couple passes, and those have been quick outs.
And they've gotten a lot of pressure, too, on the quarterback, Blake Clark. He hasn't had a lot of time when he has dropped back to throw.
Yeah. Johnston's keys is getting Dowling into 3rd and long.
So here they go. They trot out Hushagen. They're going to set it at the 37-yard line to be 47-yarder. That's the longest that he's hit on the season. He's 8 of 12 with a 47-yarder. And now a timeout. Or wait, no, they say reset the play clock.
And it looks like he's got the wind at his back also.
Now the wind's in his face if you look at it this way.
Well,
it's blowing.
Yeah, I guess a little. Depending on the angle, the flags look favorable.
Yeah. It's not the side wind. Here's the snap, the kick. It's up and it's good. 47-yarder, Colin Hushagen. Hushagen hits it with 1:20 to play in the first quarter and makes it 3-0 Johnston. Well, that'll make you feel warmer on a cold night when you boot a 47-yard field goal, huh?
Yeah, and really, though, for Dowling's defense, they've still been playing really well, and to only be down 3,
yeah, you're right.
They haven't really gotten anything going offensively, and this has been, I know when we did the Dowling-Waukee game, you know, they were tied 14 at half. And then the second half, the Maroons just came out and
that's their game, grinding you down throughout the game, isn't it?
They're
the
a second
fourth quarter.
half team, yep. And they're playing well on defense right now, and to only give up 3, they're not in any hole whatsoever.
Yeah, when you had a 1st and goal at the 1, and they fumble in the end zone, and then they come back, and now just give up 3. So that's a good point. We'll see what happens here if they could get a good return and get something going. As back deep as Jason Murray is one of them, and Hushagen kicks it. Murray will take it at the 4. Got a head of steam up, gets the blocks on the outside and up to the 24, and he's brought down where Dowling will take over. 1st and 10 at the 25. 1:13 to play here. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-play drive on the field goal for Johnston. Here comes Dowling. 2 receivers wide left, 1 to the right for Blake Clark. He hands off to the tailback, Murray. Murray looking to run to the sideline to get out of bounds, and he's knocked down inside before he can get out of bounds. Picks up maybe 4. And Dowling will get back quickly. So 2nd and 5. Snap, handoff to Murray, and he's bottled up behind the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there. A sea of yellow came in on top of him there.
And that's something that really Jason Murray's not used to. Not to say that you expect to get 5 to 10 yards a time, but he does average 8 yards a carry. And
he's
getting stopped in the backfield,
you
know, these guys, they realize that they can't just run over everybody, which is which has been their story of their season so far.
We talked about that big defensive line of Johnston, how they would match up pretty good. Let's see if they go to the pass here. 3rd and 6 at the 28. Rolling back, looking out, up the right sideline. Battled for it, knocked away by the defender over there. Blake Murray knocks it down.
And Ngoli was really covered by Murray the entire time.
And then he had a little help too, didn't he? Back there?
And Ngoli was just on a streak route down the right sideline, and Murray played it well.
And really late in the first half, it didn't hurt if he threw it down there and it got picked off even, because now there's 5 seconds left. So it didn't hurt to take that shot down the field, because especially with Ngoli, he catches it and who knows, he may break free, but credit Murray back there. So 5 seconds to go here in the first half. Dowling looks to punt it away. Yeah, we'll see if they do. Here's the snap. This could be the last play if they let it go. High punt. And it's going to bounce and roll out of bounds. And the clock says 000, as you see there on your screen. And that's the end of the first half here in this Class 4A quarterfinal. They only scoring a field goal by Hushhagen, and it's 3-0 Johnston at the half. Let's take a break. We'll come back with our halftime after this on CISN.TV.
Okay, ladies, it's October, and we all know what that means. Time for our annual mammograms. Iowa Radiology believes that mammograms are the best way to catch breast cancers early and save lives. With 3D and low-dose technology, they are now more accurate and safe. It's only once a year, and if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your daughters, your friend, your sons, or your family. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Many times at the Lodge of Ashworth, new members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community. You want to get...
Okay, ladies, it's October, and we all know what that means. Time for our annual mammograms. Iowa Radiology believes that mammograms are the best way to catch breast cancers early and save lives. With 3D and low-dose technology, they are now more accurate and safe. It's only once a year, and if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your daughters, your friend, your sons, or your family. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years. Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight.
At Schottenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee means 0% for 72 months on all 17 Silverados and Colorados. For a limited time, 20% off 17 Cruze, Trax, and Malibu. New 18 Equinox, Power Cruise, Shoe 24 per month. 0% for 72 months on a huge selection of 17 Silverado and Colorados. It's Truck Month in Waukee. Schottenkirk Chevrolet on the west end of Hickman, Waukee.
And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here, we don't just dream, we make history. This is
here at halftime at Johnston Stadium. Dar Danielson with you. Joe Danielson is here also, and it is halftime 3-0 Johnston with the lead. And they go to the locker room feeling good, but they also got to be thinking what might have been, as Johnston penetrated down and had the ball first and goal at the 1. Andrew Nord came on a run, tried to turn the corner as he kind of pushed toward the end zone. There was a scramble there, and then the official said that he fumbled it into the end zone, and Dowling got it 1st and 10 at the 20. Johnston held them. They punted here, and then at the end of toward the end of the first quarter here, it was a 47-yard Colin Hushhagen kick with 1:20 to play here in the first half, and that was our only scoring in the first half. And the story of the game, Johnston, on their second play, Nord threw an interception, but they held and were able to get him to punt back. Then we had an exchange of fumbles. First Dowling fumbled, and then Johnston fumbled it right back. And so, Joe, kind of that high-energy defensive game where a few mistakes made from the hard hitting that you kind of expect in this type of battle between number 2 Dowling and number 4 Johnston.
Yep, and offensively, Johnston has really been able to run what they would like with Nord on the option, and he's been able to complete some passes downfield, whereas Dowling has been pretty one-dimensional. I mean, their offense is pretty one-dimensional in general, but they've been getting stopped, and they've been getting into that 3rd and long, which is not good when you're a run-heavy team.
We talked about it. Jason Murray has not found a lot of holes running room when he's gotten the ball. And also when Blake Clark has dropped back to pass, he's not had a lot of time to look downfield for his receivers either, has he?
Nope, the Johnston defense has gotten really good pass rush on Clark, and they've been able to stop Jason Murray in the backfield a couple times, which he's just not used to. And
really on offense, Johnston hasn't gotten a lot going other than Nord, although he did get on that drive where they drove down, he hit a couple of those quick passes. He hit Peyton Williams for the 1, and Williams almost took it in himself there, got stopped at the 1 before Nord fumbled it. So, a little bit offense they're passing. Nord has been the main ground offense for Johnston here so far tonight.
Yep, and not just through the air and on the ground, but he's also going to have to really manage the clock and play with the lead for the rest of this game. A 3-point lead is only a 1-score lead. You're playing a team like Dowling, it does take them a little longer to score. When you hold them, when you can tackle them, like Johnston has been able to do so far.
You got a feeling that the team that scores a touchdown first, well, if it's Johnston, of course they'll have a big leg up because it'll be, then 10-0. But you got to think if Dowling can score a touchdown, then whoever breaks that seal on the touchdown first is going to, get the momentum their way the way it's going right now.
Yep, and before the game we kind of talked about if Johnston could prove that they can stick with this team like Dowling, and so far, they've matched every punch and counter punch, and looking here to really have a strong second half because I think they won the first half in my opinion. Going forward is in the second half is when Dowling has really been able to wear teams down, though.
And they've prevented the big play, and we talked about it. They went late there, went to Ignoli down the right side, but he's been silent too. They just haven't had time to get him the ball, and he's a big play receiver. You get it to him, and things can happen.
Yep, and they're big play receivers, and then it kind of goes back to Jason Murray getting stopped in the backfield. when the receivers really aren't used to catching a ton of balls, that many passes, I mean, they get kind of used to just being able to run the route and not have to block or not make a move to catch a ball, to make a play on the ball because they don't have to.
So here at halftime, and the other score we had was Centennial leading Lewis Central in that ball game. We'll try to get some more scores for you as we go along here. But right now, Johnston feeling pretty good, and I don't want to jinx it for them, but they opened this stadium, and they have not lost in this new stadium since they opened it up. You know, if I don't believe in that. Like, it's just like when you say a guy's going to the free throw line and hit 10 of 10, and you know. But anyway, just the momentum that Johnston has had through this season, but again, you don't win 4 straight state titles by not being able to come back and you know, do what you want to do and make adjustments at halftime, do you?
Yep, they've got 1 half of football left to go to the Dome, and they're leading by 3. So they're right where they need to be, and really big hits from both teams. Dowling delivering some big hits on defense, and Johnston right back. And
we'll talk about the winner of this game will meet the winner of the Ankeny Centennial Lewis Central game, and Ankeny Centennial jumped out to was it 14-0 lead in that game. The other side, on the eastern side of the state, it's Iowa City West and Cedar Falls in Iowa City, as Iowa City West is undefeated in the top seed there. Then Bettendorf and North Scott are the other side of that bracket. The winner would winners of these would meet in the semifinal games in the Unidome at a time to be determined, and then the championship game will be on November 17th. So we appreciate you joining us tonight. Of course, audio-only broadcast. That's why you're just seeing the scoreboard, because of the association rules. Can't show you the video on this tonight, but a good game to call anyway. It's been back and forth and going at it toe-to-toe here.
Yep.
So if we can get Peter to put down the cookie, we'll take a break. He needed a cookie to get recharged there at halftime, but we'll take a break, do that, we'll come back, and we'll be about ready for the start of the second half here. Johnston leading 3-0 at the half here in the quarterfinal of Class 4A on CISN.TV.
The value of staying active cannot be overlooked in our lives or our young athletes. However, high-intensity workouts come with the risk of injury. If you or your child have sustained a sports injury, Select Physical Therapy in conjunction with Iowa Ortho are here to help with 2 convenient walk-in locations.
From diagnosis through recovery, you'll be put directly into the hands of experts who will evaluate and treat your sports-related injury.
Call us today for an evaluation.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee means 0% for 72 months on all 17 Silverados and Colorados. For a limited time, 20% off 17 Cruze, Trax, and Malibu. New 18 Equinox, Power Cruise, Shoot 24 per month. 0% for 72 months on a huge selection of 17 Silverado and Colorados. It's Truck Month in Waukee. Schottenkirk Chevrolet on the west end of Hickman, Waukee.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza. The other guy.
When people visit the Lodge of Ashworth, they fall in love with our grounds. They're impressed with our dining room, but it is our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites that attract the most attention. With bay windows, full kitchens, large walk-in closets, and modern appliances, the Lodge feels like home. We have suites move-in ready, or we will help you customize. Create a home office, media room, or bedroom for visiting friends or family. Call us today for a private tour and ask about our flexible pricing plans.
time for our annual mammograms. Iowa Radiology believes that mammograms are the best way to catch breast cancers early and save lives. With 3D and low-dose technology, they are now more accurate and safe. It's only once a year, and if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your daughters, your friend, your sons, or your family. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Here at Johnston High School, it's halftime. Halftime winding down. Dar Danielson, along with Joe Danielson, a trip to the Unidome on the line in the semifinals of Class 4A. And Dowling trying to get back there for the 5th straight time. And their 5th straight title. Well, Johnston trying to get to the semifinals for the first time here. And they have the lead 3-0. Joe, let's go inside the locker room first to Dowling and Coach Tom Wilson. What's he saying to his Maroons at halftime here?
Well, this is kind of similar to that Waukee game earlier and Ankeny Centennial. When it's just, I mean, it's the type of game they want to be in. They're grounding it out, down 3-0. They haven't really done anything bad on offense, but they really just haven't been able to get anything going. They really just need a spark from somewhere other than Blake or Jason Murray. Somebody that needs to help him out.
So then Brian Woodley, what's he told his Dragons in the halftime locker room?
Well, I think Johnston, aside from, you know, those 2 turnovers, they've played, they've been the better team so far. And, you know, they've come out and they've played really strong. They've matched Dowling on defense, driven it deeper on offense. They got
down to the 1 before turning it over. So take care of the ball and keep up the pressure because you got a half to play till you get to the semifinals. Right?
Yep, and he's telling them that the Dowling Catholic's only going to come out twice as hard as they did the first half now here as they find themselves trailing in a game. And you look at trailing at halftime, most of these players on Dowling, that's never been a thing so far for any of them, really.
Yeah.
So,
but you're right. I think you're right. That first wave coming out of the second half, you survive that, and then it's back to the even battle back and forth here. Now, Dowling deferred to start the first half. Looks like a little rain on the window there too. So Dowling deferred the first half, so they'll get the ball to start the second half. So we'll see what happens with that, what they do here right away. Imagine you go back to that ground game and then maybe throw in a little play action, you think?
Yep, and well, the problem is they've been getting forced to throw on 3rd and long when they really want to run, and then
but they're not picking up much. You're right, not picking up much on first down, so they get behind the sticks, as they say, and have tried to catch up. So both teams out warm up. There's a little rain, looks like, on the window here, and I can't tell looking up at the lights, not a lot, just blowing just a bit here, so that could become a factor too if it starts raining. I know it was supposed to later tonight, but that rain, we saw it do some weird things to the ball. A couple of those rain games we had here earlier, and it was, what was that, about 4 weeks ago we had the monsoon where the game got delayed and by lightning and everything, but the gold jersey Johnston Dragons are back here. They're on the bench right in front of us with the purple helmets and white pants, and now the Maroons out there in their white helmets, white tops, and the maroon pants still doing a few sprints to warm up and get ready here for the second half. And it should be a wild one. Centennial leading Lewis Central 21-0 there in that other game, and you know, Centennial came out and there was a lot of talk about them in the preseason. Then Johnston nipped them with a final second play, Joe, in that first game of the season. Then I think they lost the next one, and then they kind of righted the ship, and they've been playing pretty well here late in the season. They beat the Valley and knocked them out. So, you know, that whoever ends up going on to play, if Centennial keeps it up, it's going to be a pretty good matchup there.
Well, yeah, they beat Dowling
also, too.
So,
yeah.
I mean, that's a win you can hang your hat on for any team, really. I mean, yeah, Ankeny Centennial is right here, I'd say, with both of these two teams in the CIML as being real powerhouses.
Well, they're warming up. You see the clock winded down here with about 15 seconds to play. Want to remind you, coming up next week on CISN.TV, join us for state volleyball action. We'll have all the opening round matches right up through the semifinals here, right on CISN.TV. So if you can't make it down to Cedar Rapids and your favorite team or your alma mater is playing, pick up the phone, get our app, get on your computer, and check in, and you can watch all the volleyball action. And
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
Yep, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll be down there all day long bringing you all the matches live here for free on CISN.TV. So we wrap up the football season on our end of this, and we'll go right into volleyball as Dowling coming out, and they're going to be in the north end zone and take the kick there from Hushagen. It'll be Jason Murray and Marcus Miller back deep to receive for the Maroons. Here's Hushagen. He's got the only points of the game. This one is a deep kick taken at the 1, up across the 20, and ridden down at the 24-yard line is Miller on the return.
I think that might have been Murray.
Or was that Murray?
Yep, Murray on the return.
Murray, not Miller.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Miller, I was looking for him. He's a defensive back with some speed there.
So 1st and 10 at the 24. Nick Geller with the stop. So Dowling will take over here. And their first possession of the second half, trailing 3-0. Blake Clark brings them out. Charlie Nank, Mitch Goff, Greg Hagan, Alex Curtin, and Jesse Alger. The line, and there's a flag comes in right away. And somebody jumped, I think, before they even got the snap off. So not the way you want to start the second half.
Nope, and pretty clean game penalty-wise. More turnovers than penalties, I think.
Yeah, I think there was
far.
2 penalties in the first half. This one moves it back 5, so it'll be 1st and 15. And there's a handoff right up the middle, almost breaking through and gets past the original line of scrimmage, picks up 7, is Murray. And he busts through that tackle, and he's off to the races, but he gains 8. Second down.
Yep. And I think Nathan Newcomb
7.
got in there and just stopped him right before he had that second burst.
Up to the 27. Hand off to him again, and this time he's hit. Driven back. Wow, what a hit there.
Trey Officer again, and he had a big one earlier in the game.
The middle linebacker, he took a beat on him and hit him, and he just went backwards.
And those are the big plays that you're going to have to make if you're the Johnston Dragons, and Officer's been making them all night.
3rd and 7 now at the 26 for Dowling on the opening drive of the second half. Empty backfield, trips to the right, 2 receivers to the left. And dropping back, looking, throws it across the middle, wide open. The tight end catches it. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. 74-yard touchdown.
Charlie Johnson, the tight end.
Yep. So the big play that Johnston has avoided to Johnson, and it's a 74-yard touchdown pass.
Yep, and Johnson, he set a block, and then he ran straight up the middle and went unguarded by Johnston's linebackers, and then caught it and had enough speed to make it into the end zone.
And the thing there that Blake Clark didn't have in the first half is he had time, and the kick is no good. The kick is wide right. So that'll make it 6-3 Dowling. So we'll see if that comes back to hurt him later.
Yep, and as you said, Blake Clark just had time, and he had time to actually find Charlie Johnson down the middle of the field. And yeah, Riley Schmidt missing the extra point there. He has missed a couple of them on the year, making this a 6-3 game, a 1-possession game.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 plays. Let's see, about a minute 30 or minute 10 off the clock.
So yeah,
and Dowling right away, you called it, Joe. They're going to come out firing here in the second half, and they did. And now they have the 6-0 lead.
Yep, it's almost as if they woke up. They woke up pretty fast as well.
So now the kickoff. And back deep to receive for Johnston is Studer and also Geller. And that's going to bounce into the end zone and out of the end zone for a touchback. So Johnston, trailing for the first time, will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And this will be a big key for them, Joe. How do they respond?
Yep, well, you're going to look for more of the same, really, from Johnston. You want to run a big chunks of time off the clock, still only down 3. Keep the ball out of Dowling's hands, basically, and they can't score.
Well, here comes Nord, Andrew Nord, the quarterback. And he's got Brock Studer with him. Studer comes up next to him, 2 receivers to the right. Nord rolling to his left, throws it out long, has a man wide open and overthrows him. Gavin Sullivan. And that's a tough throw for a right-hander moving to your left and throwing down the field like that.
Yep, Nord throwing across his body, kind of in the same position there as Blake Clark had to with that last big throw, but Nord with a little bit more mobility, he kind of just put everything he had on that ball.
But he had Sullivan behind the defense if he catches that and could turn up field.
Yep, and Nord can extend the pocket.
Well, here's Nord again. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Sullivan in motion, fakes it to him. Nord keeps it, and he gets stacked up behind the line of scrimmage and dropped for loss.
And Johnston's really had more of those backfield kind of gang tackles than Dowling has so far. Dowling with a nice statement here on defense coming out from the second half.
So 3rd and 13 at the, what are we at? 17-yard line, their own 17 for Johnston. Third play, they're trying to avoid going 3 and out here after giving up the score on the opening possession of the second half to Dowling. 2 receivers left, receiver on the right comes in motion. Nord fakes, now takes up the middle, has a lot of room. Now the defense closes and hammers down, and number 44 once again is in there. Riggs on him. And it looked like Nord was picking up steam, and Riggs came in there like a big rig and just plowed him over, didn't he?
Yep, and Riggs is the leading tackler on this Dowling Catholic defense with over 80 tackles on the year.
So 4th and 5, they're going to force the turnover, the 3 and out here. Miller goes back deep to receive for Dowling back at his 45-yard line. And Jackson Steigers to punt it for Johnston. Rolls to his right with the kick, and line drive kick bounces, and Miller picks it up on the bounce back at the 38 across the 50. 40 cuts outside and knocked out of bounds at the 34-yard line, so a big return, and he played that bounce very well.
Yep, and that really can go either way. That as a return man, you know, that the kick had a hang time of maybe half of a second, not even that. It was just almost like a pass.
So 1st and 10 at the 34. So here's where the Johnston defense has to come up big. If you can stop them here, there's still a 3-point ball game. You let them get a score, then you got a 2-score game here right away to flip the second half. Here's Clark. Hands off and right up through the middle. Was that Moore? Matt Moore on the carry in there.
Yep, and that is a change of pace for Jason Murray. Moore with coming into this game only 15 carries on the season, so maybe Luke Dowling looking for someone else to get started here.
So 1st and 10 at the 23. Moore back in there. They got a slot on the right, hand off, and right up into the middle, and he gets stacked up there that time for a very little gain, if any. And
I think Murray might be getting looked at over there on the sideline. I think he is.
Yep.
So we have Matt Moore in.
And no gain, 2nd and 10 at the 23 of Johnston for Dowling. 2 backs back there now with Clark. And he hands it No, keeps it. Now throws it out there, swings it out, and it's caught and knocked out of bounds. He's going to pick up the first down over there. Was is that 45 or 25? Was John Schmidt for first down. 1st and 10 at the 12. So Dowling took their first lead here on their first possession, now threatening here again as they come out with backs now bracketing the quarterback. And here's the snap, fake the handoff. Looking, throws it late over on the left side, caught and knocked out of bounds after a pickup of about 8 over there.
And a big hit out of bounds there. On Murray. Yep,
Murray, Jason Murray caught the pass again, so now they're mixing it around pretty good on offense here.
Yep, it looked like Murray went off for the trainer for a brief second, and then he did take a pretty big hit after he caught that ball.
So back in there now. Down the line, and a keeper cuts it up. He's going to be just short at the 1 yard line as Clark kept it himself. And it'll be 1st and goal at the 1 for Dowling. As they're driving here again, trying to add to their 3-point lead. Trying to score on consecutive possessions to open the second half. Got Murray in there at tailback again. Hands off to Murray, plows into the middle of the pile, goes ahead, second effort, he got it, touchdown, Murray. Plowed into the pile, not there, he pushed ahead over the left side and goes in from 1 yard out with 7:23 to play here in the third quarter. Makes it a 12-3 ball game. Dowling on the Murray run.
Yep, and this is what we talked about here, is Dowling is kind of awoken now to get some points on the board, and here comes Riley Schmidt again.
Here's the kick, and this time the PAT is good, and that makes it 13-3. Dowling leading Johnston. We'll take a quick break and come back with a kickoff right after this.
The value of staying active cannot be overlooked in our lives or our young athletes. However, high-intensity workouts come with the risk of injury. If you or your child have sustained a sports injury, Select Physical Therapy in conjunction with Iowa Ortho are here to help with 2 convenient walk-in locations.
From diagnosis through recovery, you'll be put directly into the hands of experts who will evaluate and treat your sports-related injury.
Call us today for an evaluation.
Dowling scores again, this time a 34-yard drive thanks to the good punt return, and they go up 13-3 here over Johnston. And they'll be kicking off to Studer and Blake Murray back deep to receive for the Dragons. Short kick going toward the sideline, and they'll let it go out of bounds, and that'll be a penalty. And that'll give Johnston good field position here to start it. But, Joe, still not time to panic. 7:23 to go in the third quarter. Johnston needs to just come out and put a drive together.
Yep, they just need to come out and what they did in the first half, but they just need to execute in the red zone down here. Held to a field goal, and they had that one turnover. They don't want to get stagnant here. Another 3 and out is not really what you'd like. You want to get something going here on this drive.
1st and 10 at the 35. Gives it to Studer, and he plows into the middle. Line still pushing ahead. Looked like they had him stopped behind the line of scrimmage, but Studer manages to push ahead for just 1 there. So 2nd and 9 at the 36. And, of course, that run game sets up what they do. You fake the middle, you hand off, and you move around a lot for Nord. So here's Nord again. He's got the double slots and a wide receiver to the right. Studer there. Slot comes in motion. They hand it to him. He's looking to turn the corner and just gets knocked out of bounds. About the 41. That's Blake Murray. He came out of that right slot and took the handoff. And puts him 4 yards, 3rd and 5. Not a bad.
Jake Ruprecht, the defensive back, makes the stop there. A big hit at the end of that play.
So 3rd and 5. As they bring in Steigers again, the wide receiver spot. They'll send Trips bunch to the left side, single receiver to the right. Send a man in motion. Hand off to Studer. Studer cuts it up the left side, pushing ahead. He's going to be just short, I think, of the first down by maybe half a yard. Just short of the first down by a little less than a yard.
And that looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field here. Well, is that Nord next to the sideline looking for the play?
Yeah. So they pick up 4. 4th and 1.
And it looks about the 45 is the first down.
Yeah, the ball just across the 44. They need to get to the 45. They come up in a Studer up with Nord. Now Studer comes up right next to Nord. And they hand it off to the slot coming through. He stumbles ahead and gets the first down.
Yep, and that's dangerous trying to go around the outside when you only need 1 yard. But
yeah.
Johnston right there shows in the pistol formation. Yep.
But they didn't get much penetration to the line, did they? He was able to run right around the outside of that line. You're right. When you got to go that long distance instead of straight north and south, sometimes you get caught in the backfield. But that time Murray was able to stumble ahead, and he needed a yard, and he got about 5 after he stumbled forward, and it's 1st and 10 at the 49 for Johnston. As they look to answer 2 scores here to start the second half by Dowling to give Dowling a 13-3 lead. Nord keeps it himself, and this time he is caught in the backfield, and they blow the whistles. They were trying to rip the ball out of there.
John Wagner caught him in the backfield before he could get the corner.
And Wagner, he is an imposing figure out there, isn't he? 6'5", 245 senior that everybody's looking at, and dropped him for about a 3-yard loss. 2nd and 13. Back at the 46. Nord rolling right, looking downfield. Throws across the middle. No, he bounced on the turf. He couldn't quite pull it out of there. Intended for Studer.
Studer was open. He made a nice move to split the Dowling defense, but just a little bit more under that pass.
Thrown a little low, and it brings up 3rd down. 3rd and 13 at the 46. Yeah, if he got a little more air under it, he wasn't really under pressure, but again, he was rolling to his left, the right-handed quarterback.
And at this time in the game, the sustained drives are really what Johnston needs here.
So 3 receivers right, 1 left. Man in motion is Murray. Fakes it to Murray. Pressure on. Looks like they're setting up the screen back the other way. But Dowling reads it very well, and Studer did well to get back to the original line of scrimmage. As you could see that screen forming, but credit the Dowling secondary. They came up and sniffed that out.
Yep, Jake Ruprecht again. He was there to cover the blitz. After the initial Dowling blitz, Johnston had the screen set up, but there was nothing there.
Marcus Miller will drop back to receive what could be a punt. We'll see. Johnston did try, what was it, earlier in the season, they tried to fake on one, I remember. But this time, looks like Steigers is going to do that rugby kick, and caught. Miller goes up and catches it, and that was a good move at the 24, because if he doesn't catch that, that could bounce inside the 10 the way it was going.
Yep, and a little bit of a dangerous catch when you kind of got the ball
above
rotating,
your
and it's not rotating normally.
And so Dowling will take over 1st and 10 at the 22. They took it at the 24 to start the second half, drove down and scored. Then got a punt return, took it from the 34, drove in and scored. They missed one extra point, so it's 13-3 Dowling. We'll see what they do here on their third drive, and this is where the Johnston defense needs to step up. Blake Clark hands off to the tailback, and he gets a couple. Murray back in there, picks up 2. 2nd and 8 at the 25. Officer again in on the tackle there. The middle linebacker for Johnston's been all over the place. Same formation once again. And this time a handoff again, a little fake, and now winding a fumble! Did Johnston get on it? I think they did. He coughed it up late, and I think Johnston is recovered at the 44-yard line. They did. And Murray was just trying to make a move to get a few extra yards, and if he got through there, Joe, he might have scored on that, but the ball popped loose.
Yeah, that was pretty close, too. His knee was almost on the ground. I thought that was a pretty close play. His knee might have been down, but
we don't have the replay here.
So a big play for Johnston's defense. Now they have the ball right on the edge of the red zone here.
Well, in their own
territory.
In Dowling's territory. A little ways to go to the red zone. They're in the 44, 1st and 10 at the 44. Here's Nord, brings it back out. Hands off to Studer, and he'll pick up about 3 yards on the carry. Yeah, it could have been. You're right. He was kind of fighting, and his knee may have been down as that ball popped out. But, again, we aren't doing video, and it wouldn't matter anyway because they couldn't look at our replay if it was. But Johnston stays alive here. 2nd and 6 at the 33. Nord takes the low snap. Fakes the third. Now, give and go. Down the sideline. Williams catches it at the 10-5. Touchdown! Pump fake and then threw it to the big tight end down the left side for the touchdown.
Well, there's that matchup again with Ripert again on the corner. He's only 5'5" when you throw it to the big tight end who really just muscled him out of the way for the touchdown catch. And I think that's a matchup that they should have been going to a lot earlier in this game for Johnston.
So here's Hushhagen for the key extra point kick here. Yeah, he just faked it, and then Williams juked and then down the sideline and caught it at the 10, and he was untouched in the end zone. Here's the kick by Hushhagen.
Yep.
It is good.
There was a little bit of contact there when he made separation, but again, there's about a foot of a height difference on that play.
Yeah. He's Williams is what, 6'5", and then what is the defender back there?
Drake Rupert is 5'5", 150. So there you go.
Yeah, whole foot difference there, and
about 100 pounds.
And 100 pounds. But so usually the tight end is going to win those battles. So we're back to a 3-point ball game here as Johnston scores, and again the turnover big there.
And we talked about Murray's knee might have been down. For the opposite, Nord, it's pretty hard to fumble a ball on the 1-yard line into your own end zone without going out of bounds. So
that was a strange play too.
Two plays that, with review, maybe would have dramatically changed this game.
Talking about in the first half where Nord came around and at the goal line from the 1-yard line and tried to lunge across, and then they said that he fumbled the ball through the end zone or into the end zone. It was recovered. Kickoff taken at the 4-yard line by Dowling. Up to the 15, and he stops, goes again, now slides up ahead to the 19, and you see a little bit of a pep in the step now. Johnston, Joe, covering that kick as they scored, and the defense got a little more adrenaline back.
Yep, rolling with the punches after you give up 13 points to Dowling. They're The crowd here kind of got a little quiet. I remember in the first half we could hear them jumping, but now that Dowling or Johnston again here is just rolling with the punches. And
so 1st and 10 at the 19. Dowling had scored on his first 2 possessions, coughed it up on the last one, and it cost him a touchdown. Here's a handoff, looking for room. Now finds room over the left side, and finally winning his way up there is Jason Murray and gets a first down.
Yep. And these Dowling guys aren't tired. This is what they're used to do. This is the third quarter is when they really put it on teams.
They impose their will on them, don't they? Yeah.
Yep, and Johnston has done a good job of a counterpunch, so to say.
1st and 10 at the 32. Here comes Dowling again. Blake Clark with Jason Murray behind him. That slot back there right up ahead, and 2 receivers to the right. And gives it to Murray. Murray dances around and gets up across the 35 to the 36. And another good pickup here on first down. And this is where you're just getting 4 and 5 yard chunks like you talked about and moving it ahead here, Joe.
Yep, but and when you talk about Murray's burst, he's got that burst speed once he gets to the second level of the defense. But the Johnston linebackers in Newcomb and Nielsen have done a really good job of stopping him from turning on the Jets.
Pretty much the same formation. This time a pitch over to the tailback, and he gets up across to the first down. Jason Murray once again.
And the pitch to Murray is something that they don't use as much, you'd think, and it's almost unfair once you get him out in space like that.
Yeah, it gives him a little wider separation there, isn't it? And he got the edge, and he's up to the 45, so a pickup of 9. And it's another 1st and 10 for Dowling. As they took over here with around 3 minutes to play, and now are driving again. There's a handoff again, and just a couple yards by Murray. Up to the 47. 2nd and 8. And everybody looking to the sideline over there.
Yep, Dowling in no hurry here with about a minute left in the third quarter.
And you got Charlie Johnson, the big tight end, is out there again. They send him in the slot on the right. Hand off to Murray, and he drags a tackler up for a pickup of about 4. So, well, I guess I'll give him 2 on that. 3rd and 6 on the 49. So big third down here for Dowling to keep the drive alive and for Johnston to try to get the ball back and get a chance to go back for the lead. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Back in there behind the quarterback in that pistol formation. He pitches it over, cuts it up, and he's going to be short of the first down. He got a couple, but Murray is stopped short of the first down. Let's see what it's going to be. About 3 yards. 4th and 3. You think about going for it here, Joe?
Well, I think it's a pretty good chance of making it if you do go for it.
They've been picking up 3 or 4 yard chunks every run, haven't they?
Again, with that pitch, puts Murray right up there.
Well, and that runs out the third quarter. So at the end of 3, Dowling leads 13-10. Back with the final quarter after this on CISN.TV.
It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
We'll go to the fourth quarter here on CISN.TV. Dar Danielson, Joe Danielson, Peter Tarpey at the controls. It'll be a 4th and 3 at the 48 of Johnston for Dowling. And looks like they're going to go into punt formation and play it safe here with the 13-10 lead. Dowling came out and scored twice on their first 2 possessions of the second half to take over the lead. Then Johnston turned a turnover into points in their last possession, and now they forced the punt here out of Dowling. Low snap. Punt is away. It's a low one, bounces at the 20, and they get away from it. Good roll for Dowling. Is going to roll down to just about the goal line, and there's probably a couple blades of artificial turf between the ball and the goal line, Joe.
Yeah,
that much.
Yeah, that's when catching that. Boy, those long, low line drive kicks from both of these punters, that's when fielding those really pays off.
Yeah, that's where hang time doesn't matter so much as it does the roll and the bounce, does it? So Johnson's got to go all of 99 yards now to get into the end zone, or as we saw out of Hushagen, hit a 47-yarder, so they got a ways to go to get a chance to tie this up, but it'll be 1st and 10 at the 1 for Johnston here. And here's where you got to be careful not getting caught up in the end zone, as Nord is in the end zone and his back is about 7 yards deep in the end zone, and Nord's just going to take it and push it straight ahead and get a couple yards and just a little bit of breathing room, because that ball was touchdown, just barely touching the goal line on the roll of that punt. So Nord gives them a little room there.
Yep, and ball control is going to be key on this drive. You really don't want to turn the ball over to Dowling again so they can run the clock out.
So 2nd and 8 at the 3. And I wouldn't be surprised to see another Nord run here. And here's the thing with Nord, he never comes under center. And that time he takes it, scoots ahead, now finds a little room and gets up ahead. Whereas we saw Southeast Polk, I can't think of their quarterbacks. Anyway, he comes up under center sometimes, even when he'll be in the shotgun, but he will come up under center. You don't ever see that out of Nord. And sometimes in this situation it's good, but he picks up a couple yards, 3rd and 7.
Yep, even on their sneak, they were not under center, and they don't run any
I guess I'll call
plays.
it 1. 3rd and 7. As we see a little more rain spitting against the window here. So a big 3rd down here for Johnston. I wouldn't think they'd try anything too dangerous here. 5 seconds on the play clock. They're going to have to get the play clock, and they aren't going to. They're going to have to call a timeout, as they were just getting up to the line of scrimmage with 3 seconds to go on the play clock. Let's take a quick break. We'll do that and be back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee means 0% for 72 months on all 17 Silverados and Colorados. For a limited time, 20% off 17 Cruise, Trax, and Malibu. New 18 Equinox, Power Trucks, 224 per month. 0% for 72 months on a huge selection of 17 Silverado and Colorados. It's Truck Month in Waukee. Schottenkirk Chevrolet on the west end of Hickman, Waukee. Chevy Truck.
Here at Johnston High School, a big 3rd down, 3rd and 7. Johnston has the ball on their own 4-yard line, trying to get it out of there, get some room after a big punt rolled down. It was down at about the half-yard line by Dowling. Johnston trailing 13-10. And here's Nord. Little rain blowing up against the window here in the press box now. Nord takes it, looks, throws it out across over the top and almost picked off. It was a good idea looking for big Peyton Williams out there, but they had him covered pretty well, Joe.
Yep. Marcus Miller, the wide receiver, or the defensive back, who's also been fielding kicks, had him pretty well covered, and Nord kind of just threw it up there looking for something to happen.
I would have thought maybe, a little slant from that big tight end across the middle toward the 1st down and try to hit him there.
Yep, a 5-yard slant could have worked there, and then Miller is going to stay on the field here to field this punt.
Steigers with his heels right about back at the end line there. High snap, takes it, pressure, he gets it away, a high kick. And Dowling saying get away, a good bounce now. And it's going to roll back toward the 40, 38-yard line. But credit Steigers for handling the high snap and getting that kickoff under heavy pressure at the back of his own end zone. And there's a Dowling player down, or is that a Johnston player? Johnston player down. I saw the white pants but didn't see the...
So 2 punts. That punt right there was almost disastrous being a high arcer.
He got it up to the 38 and
20.
kicked it from the 8, so about a 30-yard punt. So 10:07 to play. Dowling will take over.
That's Garrett Gerke.
Excuse me, it's the 41, so it's a little longer punt, 33.
Yep, number 25, Garrett Gerke, walks off to the
Pella leads Dallas
table.
Center Grimes 28-10. So 1st and 10 at the 41 for Dowling. Here comes Blake Clark, hands it off to Murray, and Murray gets a big chunk of yardage there, about 4 yards on 1st down. I'll bring up 2nd and 6 at the 37. So here's again where Johnston got a call on their defense, Joe, to stiffen up here.
Yep, 2nd down and 6. They're going to have to come up with a couple of big stops.
Blake Clark, Jason Murray in behind him for Dowling. They send the receiver in motion across. They hand it off to Murray. Murray cuts it outside to the 30. Tripped up, now still going 20, knocked down at the 15. He broke that tackle on the outside, got an extra 10, 15 yards there.
Oh, and it looks like Murray's down, though, on the sideline. And
he's staying down after getting knocked out of bounds and getting up limping. He was out of the game earlier for a couple plays there, but he's up and hobbling quite a bit as he heads off toward he's got to go clear across the field to his sideline there. But it'll be 1st and 10 for Dowling at the 15. And
looks like he's now went down.
Now he went down. The trainers are coming out.
And
they got the ball, I guess, at the 14. And they're going to try to help him off here. He's still putting a little weight on it, but he's really gingerly.
I don't think he's going to come back into the game after that hit. After just his reaction alone.
We'll see what happens here. 9:23 to play. Big series here as Dowling looking to go up.
Yeah, and Murray is basically the team's entire offense here, which is.
He has been, although Matt Moore came in and picked up a few good yards for him. And is he in there again? No, they've got John Schmidt in the backfield, and they hand it off to Schmidt, and he plows right up the middle and gets a couple yards.
And Schmidt on the year has 40 carries, a couple of touchdowns, so he has seen some running time, more than Matt Moore did.
We talked about it. Riley Schmidt, the kicker for Dowling, is just 4 of 11 on field goals and a long of 32. So they are within his range right now, which would up it to a 6-point game. 2nd and 8 at the 12. Rolling out, looking to come back the other way. Under pressure, he's sacked. Goes down back at the 20-yard line is Blake Clark. So, again, he has had no time. They're going to mark it at the 21.
On the Murray's injury really it throws a wrench into things for Dowling on offense. They
kind of takes that play action out of it a little bit too, doesn't it?
Yeah, they just tried to run the play action with the bootleg, looking for
and now you got
Ngoli downfield, but he was just no time.
Now 3rd and 17 at the 21, and you're about out of field goal range if you go by the longest of what they've kicked so far this year. 3rd and 17 at the 21 for Dowling. Man in motion, fake the handoff. Now looking over on the outside, he hits his man. He's going to be knocked out of bounds short of the 1st down, and that is Sam Ignoli on the catch. So bring up 3rd and about 12 at the 17, or excuse me, 4th down, I'm sorry. 4th and 12 at the 17. So you figure 7 for the snap, that's 29-yard field goal. Riley Schmidt has hit a 32-yarder. Of course, if you go for it here, you're still going to hold Johnston back deep.
Yep, and Riley Schmidt's 4 of 11 on the year.
So
longest is 32.
A big play here. 4th down and 12 at the 16 for Dowling. Send a man in motion. Fakes it. Looking to pass. And he's hit, and knocked down behind the line of scrimmage on 4th down. Back at the 27. Big defensive play by Johnston.
He didn't see it coming.
And number 62. Was it 23 on the hit? Oh, Ty Puck, yeah, the linebacker. I'm sorry. And then 62 was in there later. Potter.
Ty Puck and Jake Ryan finished it off.
So, 1st and 10, Johnston at the 26-yard line. So,
that's a huge defensive stop for the Dragons.
And the big injury there to Jason Murray, which kind of left the offense, as you said, Joe, with not a lot of options there, and then it left Johnston not believing anything else on the fakes. They just came hard at the quarterback. Here's Nord coming in. 2 receivers to each side for Andrew Nord. 1st and 10 at the 26.
And it looks like a false start.
Did they
probably.
jump? Yep. Well, those are the things that drive coaches nuts, those penalties. Oh, they called a delay a game, I guess. The play clock did go down to 0. So, 1st and 15 at the 21 for Johnston. They trail here 13-10. Hushhagen has hit a 47-yarder. Rolling right, Nord throws it out, has a man at the 30. Caught there, spinning around and pushing ahead. Big pile up, still the pile is still moving, and a rugby scrum down there. And they finally get him down.
Yep, again, Peyton Williams, the big tight end.
And Williams catches it.
And there's that slant over the middle that we talked about earlier on 3rd down.
So a big 12-yard pickup to the tight end there brings up 2nd and 3 at the 33. Coming up on 7 minutes to play here in the ball game. Nord, slot in motion, hands it off to the slot man. Studer cuts it off across the 40 for the 1st down. Brock Studer takes it. He lined up in the left slot, came across and took the handoff from Nord and cuts it up for the 1st down.
It's pretty quick.
9-yard pickup for Studer. 1st and 10 at the 42. The Johnston Dragons trying to get a drive going here.
Yep,
take the lead back.
Yep, consecutive 1st downs are what they're looking for, and they've been able to get them going.
They send Peyton Williams wide to the left. Murray in the left slot inside of him and one receiver to the right. Now Studer goes in motion to the left. Swing pass out to Studer. Catches it 45, 50, spins ahead, and is down close to the 1st down. He's going to be just short.
And we're seeing really opposites on offense here. Johnston's offense is rolling, and they're really running the ball and throwing it, while Dowling kind of just got down on the 15 and just hit a wall on their last drive.
2nd and 1 at their own, or at the Dowling 49 for Johnston. Here's Nord, takes it himself, cuts through down to the 40, a big pickup on 1st down. He needed 1 and got about 10. Well, we'll call it 9. I guess it was at the 49, so he gets 9 yards.
And
1st and 10 at the 40.
Yep, and looking up here at the lights, and there's a nice little drizzle coming down, it looks like now.
Some rain coming down on the field.
That's not really, this has been two rushing teams, obviously, but.
Yeah, it hasn't, but if that ball gets slippery, it could, we've had about 5 turnovers already tonight. Here's Nord, trips to the right. Studer comes in motion, back across, now comes back the other way. Nord rolling right, looking. Nord throws it down deep. Dipped away at the last minute. Down there.
And Johnston's looking for a flag on that play. I thought there was a defensive pass interference on that.
Thought he had his hand on him. That was 43 on the coverage, which is
Jack Bertram.
And
he's had a good game all night, I think.
But he stayed right with him down there, and
I think there was a little bit of contact before he made the play on the ball.
2nd and 10 at the 40 for Johnston. Clock stopped, 5:27 to play. In the ball game, a trip to the Unidome in the semifinals in Class 4A on the line here. Nord has Studer in the backfield with him. Man in motion, hands it off. Looking to turn the corner. Can't get a block, and is ripped down from behind.
Great play by Wagner. John Wagner, he got the outside and took down Studer for the loss.
Took him behind the line of scrimmage, loss of 4. 3rd now and 14.
And now Johnston really needs to get some yards here.
Are you in 4-down territory at this point?
I think so, down 3 points, and you've been moving the ball.
Yep, clock winding under 5 minutes.
You can't punt.
Here's Nord. Twins to each side. Fakes to Studer. Nord looking. Now throws across the middle. Picked off! Picked off at the 30. Taking it back the other way up to the 50, 45, 40. He could go 30. And knocked down at the 15-yard line.
That was Wagner again?
Was it Wagner? No, who was it? 34. 44, excuse me. That's Riggs. Okay, Mitchell Riggs. We've called his name plenty tonight. Mitchell Riggs with the big interception.
And that really takes most of all the air out of the stadium for the Johnston Dragons, especially on that big return from Riggs.
And he was bumbling, stumbling, and they finally brought him down. And it's good that they did because the Johnston defense is not lost yet. 4:31 to play. They got a couple timeouts, and they were able to hold Dowling last time, but Dowling gets a first down and a score here, and they could salt this one away. Handoff, and scooting ahead is Moore. He's in there as Murray's still injured. And I think you're right. We may not see Murray back in the ballgame yet, Joe. So 2nd and 9 at the 15. And Dowling is just taking their time, all the time they can off the play clock here. As we go under 4 minutes to play. They'll send a receiver to each side. And then hand it off again right up the middle. They're going to stack it up in there. No gain for Moore.
Yep, and Johnston looking to hold into a field goal while Dowling looking to get one first down, and you can really run a lot more clock off.
Johnston still has 2 timeouts left. 3rd and 10. Ball at the 16-yard line of Johnston. Dowling all the players over the sideline, getting the call here. They better get back, not take a penalty. This clock is down, play clock down to 5. And the play clock runs out. They're not going to take a penalty unless they took a timeout. Nope, Dowling will take a timeout and save the penalty yardage. So let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Well, here we go. 3:02 to play for a trip to the semifinals. Dowling trying to get back there for the 5th straight year, leading 13-10 here against Johnston. The Dragons trying to make it there for the first time ever. 3rd and 10 at the 16 of Johnston. Dowling will come out after calling the timeout. They let the play clock run all the way down and had to call a timeout there. And Murray is back in there for Dowling. Murray comes back into the game after the timeout. He's back in there with the quarterback. Hand off to Murray. Murray looking for running room, cuts it up the middle. 5, and he's down to the 1-yard line. Murray, what a burst of speed, and that might have just been the ball game.
Yeah, and I really didn't expect to see him back in after
No.
the way he went off, especially having to go all the way across the field on an injury. But right there, he showed the toughness as well with the speed, trying to put this game away for the Maroons.
So he picked up 12 yards, and it's 1st and goal at the 1, and now Dowling can take their sweet time. Johnston has 2 timeouts that can stop it here, but now a score, and you're going to have a 10-point ball game. Handoff, and no flag now.
Far side.
And let's see, yep, far side there. And it is against Dowling. Motion on Dowling.
The entire offense.
The official says the entire offense jumped, so it's one of those deals where your timing is off, but
Quarterback's timing.
you get a little anxious. You're down there on the 1 and trying to salt this away. But, man, how about Jason Murray coming back in the game and getting that big play? He's back out of there now. And down the line, fakes it, looking to throw, and he's sacked.
Yeah,
back at the 15. Wow.
That play has not worked all night for Dowling. 3 times in 3 big plays they've tried to run that bootleg, and the Johnston defense just hasn't bit at all.
No, they aren't. And when Murray's not in there, they don't take that play action fake at all, do they? Timeout for Johnston. Let's take a quick break. We'll do that and be back with more after this.
I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
We're back here, 2:26 to play. The sack moves the ball back to the 10. It had been 1st and goal at the 1, but sack now is 2nd and 10 at the 10 for Dowling, leading 13-10 as you see on the scoreboard there. Rain coming down, 2:26 to play. A chance to go to the Unidome for the semifinals here on the line. And here comes Clark and Matt Moore in the backfield with him. Hand off to Moore. Moore cuts it outside, trying to turn the corner. And did they get him out of bounds or did he score?
Looks like there's going to be a flag there.
There's a flag down, and he went out of bounds, too, to stop the clock, which is not good. And there's a flag down in the backfield.
Possibly.
So,
And he's hurt.
yeah, so we've got a lot going on here. Let's see what they say. Holding on Dowling. That's a big play. That drops it back 10.
And now the rain has appeared to stop.
So
as you look out, it got stronger for a second, and now it has died off.
2nd and 10 back to the 21. The big thing here is time. There's 2:18 to go on the clock.
21.
And 2nd and 21, and so 2nd and goal at the 21 for Dowling. Handoff, and looking for room, and he's dropped, and he stays in bounds.
Matt Moore.
Matt Moore, smart on that, as that keeps the clock rolling. And
they didn't want to go backwards anymore on
no
after 3 straight plays.
No, they didn't, and they don't want to get out of bounds either, because that stops the clock as we go under 2 minutes here.
And
then what Coach Woodley's got to determine here. It's 3rd down, and I'm assuming they're going to go 4 downs. And now the play clock hasn't started, and the fans are not happy about that, because the play clock is.
To what?
And now the officials are coming in, and the clock stopped. And the fans are mad because the play clock didn't start to make Dowling go. So the officials are going to talk it over. They're going to have to reset the clock here a little bit. Wow, Joe, we've had a little bit of everything. This is what you want out of a game. You don't want to make it go easy to get to the semifinals, do you?
We've got 2 minutes left. We've got rain. Now it's not raining. Now it's raining again. The rain has now started again.
We got a guy who's injured, comes off the bench, picks up a big first down. It's 1st and goal, and then they go backwards. And
Murray was looking to end the game on that run, and he was stopped on the 1-yard line. And Jason Murray took off there off the bench.
Let's see what. Okay, they're they're setting. It's at minute 33. They're going to put 2:01 back on the clock because they never started the play clock, and so they're putting 28 seconds back on there. So then they're going to start the play clock.
That would be a hold down.
Well, that's about right, though, because they put it back to where it was when they came up and the play clock never started. So it's still going to be down to, a minute and a half by the time they get this play off, as you can see right there on our screen. So 3rd and goal at the 18. And the quarterback keeper tries to cut it up, and he's going to be stopped. It'll be 4th down, and I'm assuming Johnston will take a timeout here.
I think he just told him to run a couple yards and get on top of the ball on that play.
Yeah, force them to take their timeouts. Now, we talked about it here. They're at, where are they at? 18. So 7 is 25 plus 10 to be a 35-yard field goal. The longest he's made is 32 this season, and he's only 4 of 11, their field goal kicker. And it's raining, and you got to win, so I'm assuming.
Yep, we already saw the decision earlier in the game from, where were we at earlier when they opted to go for it on 4th and 12, Dowling?
Yeah, it was the same thing. And you don't want to take a shot to the end zone with a pass because if that goes incomplete, it stops the clock. So I would think you just run it here, and then you rely on your defense to try to make him go 80 yards. Well, maybe not 80. You need to get down to about what? About the 30. For a 47-yard field goal.
50-yard field goal.
That was their last time out. So, but it's 4th down, so the clock will stop on the change of downs. So, as the rain picks up again here,
is Murray back in?
And let's see. No, Murray's not back in there. It's Matt Moore in there. Hand off. No, fake. They throw it out long, and it's incomplete. And that'll stop the clock with 1:28 to play. So they went for the end zone. And now Johnston needs to get it down to about the 30-yard line. They got to go, let's see, where are they going to spot this at?
Nord will get another chance after the interception on his last drive. And the last drive Johnston had, they were really rolling.
1st and 10 at the 18. So to get it down to the 30, 48, they need about 52 yards here to get it within Hushhagen's range. Of course, now he's kicking with the rain here.
And Peyton Williams, a big 6'5" tight end, has been pretty big so far in the passing game tonight. Look for him here again.
So trips to the right for Nord. Here's the snap. Nord rolling right, looking upfield. Throws it. Caught! And knocked down at the 35. Caught there by Studer.
Brock Studer, and they got to hurry it up here.
They got 1:21 clock stops on the 1st down in high school. So 1st and 10 at the 35. They still need to get it down to about the 30 to be in field goal range. Fake a handoff. Nord rolling. Throws it out far side, and it's high and incomplete. That'll stop the clock, and that's almost not bad because they can regroup here.
That was about an 8-second play off the clock there. So quick incompletion. Staunch Dowling defense out there on the corner. And Wagner was pursuing Nord there and forced him to get rid of the pass high.
So here we go. Johnston comes up, trips to the left, one receiver to the right for Nord. Give him across. Nord keeps it himself. Up across the 40, 45, and out of bounds. 1st down and out of bounds. Big play, 1:07 to go here.
Well, yeah, Andrew Nord just made a really great play on that quarterback keeper. Number 88, Krieghauser was in the backfield, and Nord was able to just slip around him.
Here's Nord, trips to the left, rolls to his left, looking upfield, stops, turns back, throws. Almost picked off out there. It goes incomplete with a minute to play. And Nord had to stop and turn, and then
Jack Bertram and Mitch Riggs are both back there for Dowling. Bertram on the coverage.
2nd and 10 at the 47. Johnston here, a minute to play. Open the window because the rain has covered the window here and we can't see out. 2 receivers to each side. Big Peyton Williams, the tight end on the right side, tight. 2 split out to the left for Nord. Gives the handoff to Studer. He cuts it up, 50, 45, out of bounds, first down, stops the clock. Brock Studer, 54 seconds to play. They're only about 12 yards away from being in field goal range. To tie it up here, 13 to 10.
This is again when Dowling.
1st and 10 at the 42. Murray in motion across the formation. Rolling. Nord lobs it out there. Almost picked off again as it went over the head of the receiver, and the defensive back is diving for it. Intended for Murray. And I think that was John Schmidt diving for it.
And that's Blake Murray coming in motion for the Dragons, not Jason Murray for Dowling. That's Blake Murray for the Dragons.
For the Dragons. So 2nd and 10 at the 42, 49 seconds to play. Johnston trailing.
And Dowling, the Maroons have been coming out in a pass coverage, which has allowed Studer to really break free to get to the outside.
Now Studer comes up next to Nord. Murray comes in motion, fakes it to Murray. Looks, throws it across, lobs it up there, up and knocked away. He went for the big tight end, but the defender was back there.
Jack Bertram again at free safety is playing good defense all night, and he's been able to knock down a lot of
that was Steigers. I'm sorry, it wasn't Williams. It was Steigers down there that he had open. So 3rd and 10 at the 42. Now you got to go short and get a first down, don't you? Stop the clock here.
Yep, they have 2 downs to get the 10 yards.
Because you get a first down and you're close to field goal range. Here comes Johnson. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Back in the backfield with Nord. Nord rolling left, looking, throws out to the tight end, and it's over the head, knocked away, so it's down to 4th down. There's Steigers again out there. So 4th and 10 at the 42. You either got to get the first down.
Steigers and Ruprecht made a nice play out there on the corner.
I thought they maybe should have gone short a little bit and tried to go those out routes, but of course Dowling's covering those.
Yep, so this whole Johnston season will come down to this play.
Here it is, 4th and 10 at the 42. 37 seconds to play. Nord with the back behind him. Back steps up. Here's the snap. Low snap. Drops back. Look. Throws it out on the far side. Knocked away. Knocked away. Dowling will take over on downs with 30 seconds to play. The Maroons.
Yep, they were going at Drake Ruprecht out there, the corner. And I think Steigers pushed off in the back on that play. Pretty big push off. And there was no flag called, but they didn't need to because the pass was incomplete. But it was really just a jump off for Steigers, and I believe there would have been a flag had he come down with it.
And they had double coverage, and they had to go for it there, and maybe went downfield a little bit too much on that, Joe. Maybe if you get one more first down, you had time to get up and clock it or get out of bounds or something, but, it's easy to second guess now. But Dowling goes into the victory formation, and they're going to go to the semifinals in the Unidome for the 5th straight year and continue their quest for a 5th straight title. And this is one that Johnston Dragons can say we gave them all we had here, and just about, had a chance to come back and tie it up.
Yep, you really want to get into field goal range before you start taking shots at the end zone, but really a well-played game by both teams, and the 13-10 score is pretty indicative of the skill level here.
So the clock winds down, and Dowling escapes Johnston here, and the first loss in this new stadium for Johnston comes in the quarterfinals of the playoffs. And, wow, what a ball game. Let's take a break. We'll come back and wrap it up here on CISN.TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
I opened the Hearing Clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
Many times at the Lodge of Ashworth, new members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans.
October, and we all know what that means. Time for our annual mammograms. Iowa Radiology believes that mammograms are the best way to catch breast cancers early and save lives.
With 3D and low-dose technology, they are now more accurate and safe. It's only once a year, and if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your daughters, your friend, your sons, or your family. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
The value of staying active cannot be overlooked in our lives or our young athletes. However, high-intensity workouts come with the risk of injury. If you or your child have sustained a sports injury, Select Physical Therapy in conjunction with Iowa Ortho are here to help with 2 convenient walk-in locations.
From diagnosis through recovery, you'll be put directly into the hands of experts who will evaluate and treat your sports-related injury.
Call us today for an evaluation.
Back here at Johnston High School, the Johnston Dragons in the middle of the field getting medals and a trophy, and not quite the one they wanted, Joe, but, you know, as the announcer just said, one of the best seasons in Johnston Dragon football history, and it was, and they, you know, it went down to the very last play against the defending state champion, and, you know, that's all you can ask for.
Yep, they earned it. They proved that they belonged here. 9-2 season's pretty good, and you know they've really played hard defense all year, and they played sound on offense too. And losses to Coleman throughout the year, in the beginning of the year. Imagine if Coleman would have been here tonight, making big plays. Yeah. But you know it's still a good game from both teams. And
well, let's run down the scoring. Johnston in the first quarter, 1:20 to play in the first quarter. Hushagen, a 47-yard field goal, made it 3-0, and that was the only scoring in the first half. That's the way it went in the first half. You called it. You said they're going to come out, Dowling, at the start of the second half and put a push on. They did on the first drive. 10:41 to play, 74 yards to Charlie Johnson on the pass, and it was the extra point was no good. It was 6-3 Dowling. Then Dowling forced the turnover again, and they came back their second drive of the second half. They went, well, they only went 34 yards. They got that big punt return and got it at the 34, and it was a Murray run from 1 yard out. The kick was good. It was 13-3 Dowling. Then Johnston forced a fumble on the next drive by Dowling, and 33 yards out, it was a pass to Peyton Williams, the tight end for Johnston, with 3:09 to play in the third quarter, and it was 13-10 Dowling after the good extra point by Hushagen. Then a really wild last couple minutes as Dowling had it down there, and Jason Murray had gone out with an injury. He came in, it was like, what was it, 3rd and 14. He rushed for for 13 yards, got it down to the 1. Then there was a penalty, then a sack. Finally, Dowling ends up turning it over on downs, and Johnston took the ball, needed to get it down to try to get it at least within field goal range. They end up missing on some passes, and ball goes back to Dowling with 30 seconds to play on downs, and Dowling runs out the clock, and the final 13-10. Dowling moves on to the semifinals for the 5th straight year.
Yep, and I think you made the prediction that the first team to score a touchdown would win, and Dowling got that in the 3rd quarter.
And they did, and they went on to win here tonight. So, and that's the thing of this Dowling team. You talked about it. The second half team, they keep grinding on it, and they seem to find the ways to pull these games out. And they took a lot of punches from Johnston, but never went down, hung right in there. And the furious rally at the end, but Dowling will move on to play in the semifinals. And last we heard it was like 21-0 Ankeny Centennial over Lewis Central. So it would be Ankeny Centennial playing over Dowling, and that'd be a rematch of Dowling's only loss of the season, right?
Yep, and this Jason Murray injury is going to have a huge impact on that game, as he really is almost their entire everything they do offensively.
He was, yeah. Now, in the old days, you used to play, the old schedule, you'd play like, what was it, Wednesday, Monday, and then Friday, so you didn't have a lot of time. Now you got a whole week until the 10th, so who knows. Let's see, Centennial 38-7 at the end of the 3rd quarter, so it looks like it's going to be a Centennial Dowling rematch over in the warm Unidome in Cedar Falls. So, wow, a good football season, Joe. Appreciate having you along. Peter Tarpey here and all the rest of the crew. Paul Yeager, who did the other games, the Valley games. It's been a great football season here on CISN.TV. We appreciate all you have watched and listened to us here during the football season. Be sure to tune back in on Tuesday as we're over at the U.S. Cellular Center in Cedar Rapids. State Tournament Volleyball. We go 3 days straight, and it'll be it's long, hard, and busy, but it's fun as you see all the state tournament action. And
Maybe the fastest sport, we'll see.
Yeah, it could be sometimes those matches go fast. Other times they take a little while because you get the good teams. But anyway, again, we appreciate you watching in here tonight and listening in throughout the entire football season. And again, join us on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. See your team in the state volleyball tournament from Cedar Rapids. So that's going to wrap it up here from Johnston. The final tonight, Dowling 13, Johnston 10 on CISN.TV.